You're listening to the TransformationCoach.me podcast, and I'm your host, Adam Shively. Let's get after it. Hello again, my friends. How's it going? It's your buddy Adam. We're back with another episode of the TransformationCoach.me podcast. This is episode 37. Strategies for transitioning from a weight loss goal into a muscle tone goal. This topic was brought up in my mastermind group. Every Wednesday, I hook up with my mastermind group, and we do some live question and answer. And Allison tossed this question out there. She was like, I'm kind of done with my weight loss. I'm very close to my weight loss goal. How do I start to both mentally transition and also strategically transition towards more of a lean muscle tone and weight maintenance goal? And I thought this was such a perfect topic that I'm like, dude, we need to podcast this for sure. So that's what I'm doing. You guys always give me my best ideas, and that's why I love interacting with you so much, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook or my Facebook groups or the mastermind group or in the newsletter or whatever. That's why I try to put a lot of stuff out there, because I just love that feedback. I love that interaction, and I love to coach, and I love to show you guys that I am real. I'm a real person. I just love to coach, and it's nothing big and fancy. It's just me connecting with you and seeing if I can help you out, right? So let's dig in. First things first, I think that it's important to kind of try to define this situation a little bit. I'm going to give you some broad tips. It's hard for me to be, everybody is in a specific situation that's specific to you. So it's hard for me to be like, this is the precise thing you need to do. So I want to give you a little bit of context on some assumptions that I will make, and then you can kind of tweak that based off of your specific situation. So I'm going to assume that you're on a weight loss journey, and that you've been using some sort of a game plan that includes both exercise and a form of basic clean eating. So whatever plan it is you're using, I want to try to help you shift from when you hit your weight loss goal into a lean muscle tone goal. All right, so now if you have a lean muscle tone goal, I'm going to assume that you've come very close to or even hit that weight loss target, and you're ready to maintain your weight and start focusing on things like getting stronger and, again, developing that nice lean muscle tone. All right, so those are a couple of assumptions that I'm going to make. Now, quickly, I know that some of you are thinking in this very moment, Adam, but won't I get stronger and tone up as I'm losing weight? This is very true, all right? Very, very true. But more about what I'm talking about here is our focus point. So I want to give you some strategies so that when you reach this point in your transformation life cycle, you're ready to make that transition. It's super important that, I've talked about this before with my transformation timeline, you get to that third phase where you have to form new goals, new identity, new purpose. It's super important to have that next set of goals lined up and have a plan to back that up so that you're ready to rock and you don't lose any momentum. All right, no weight gain rebound. That's what we're shooting for here. Once we get there, we dig in, we solidify, and we move forward. Speaking of moving forward, we got one more thing before we dive in, all right? A lot of setup to this episode here, but hopefully it's worth it. I'm going to give you some tips and strategies that have worked for myself in my own 100-pound transformation. As many of you know, I've lost over 100 pounds and kept it off for several years now. So I'm going to give you some things that have worked specifically for me and my clients. My client weight loss count is over 35,000 pounds. So there are lots of programs out there. There are lots of different ways to attack a transformation. And I'm sure there are a lot of better ways than, more scientific and, all that stuff compared to what I'm going to give you. But I'm just showing you what has worked for me and what I know works with firsthand experience. So I want you to absorb what is useful, toss the rest out at your own choosing. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about some small variable shifts to ignite muscle tone progress and make that shift from weight loss mode to lean muscle tone and weight maintenance mode. All right. It's very important again, that we have those goals locked in. So we're going to focus on that. A big area that people tend to make a mistake with any sort of transition, or really with just fitness and nutrition in general, is that they try to do too much all at once. Usually going from being a complete beginner to your first program or boot camp or, P90X or whatever it is that you do, there are lots of transitions happening, a lot of changes. That's kind of the overhaul mode. But what I'm talking more about is you've done a couple of things, you've been in the game for a few months. The error people will make is they start to change a whole bunch of things at once at this point. And I think that there is a better strategy. I've seen something else work a lot better, and that is focusing on one tiny little tweak at a time and letting that settle in for about 4 weeks, analyzing the results, measuring and seeing what works, what doesn't work, and then we move forward, add another tweak. So we just wanted to focus on one transformation tool at a time, get everything we can out of it, and then at that point, when we feel like the results are starting to slow down or the stimulus to our body is starting to wear off, then we add a new stimulus, a new variable, a new tool, a new program, whatever. So that is the strategy that I want you to think about using when I talk about these different variable shifts that we can do. All right, the first variable shift that I've seen work like magic, all right, and this one thing will take you a long way, people, is adding strength training. So many people go on that weight loss journey and they're doing basic exercise like walking or jogging or maybe some boot camp classes, but it's kind of very cardio heavy focused. Elliptical machine, going to the gym, hitting the treadmill. It's more just calorie burn and cardio specific, and adding strength training will be a game changer. When I talk about strength training, it's like, specific going in, lifting weights or doing a specific body weight strength training routine where the focus isn't necessarily cardio or not even necessarily calorie burn. It's about getting stronger, developing lean muscle tone, improving our reps, improving our performance in the weight room, or with, there's a lot of great body weight suspension trainers out there, like the TRX system and things like that, or just doing straight up body weight strength training. All that is all good. So I recommend people start looking to add strength training in between 2 and 5 days per week. I don't think strength training every single day. I haven't personally seen great results from that. I haven't had clients get great results from that. So I think you need a couple of recovery days in there, especially as you start to train harder and heavier and more intense. So 2 to 5 days a week. And when I'm working with people on a weight loss focused journey, obviously there is some strength training involved in that plan. But again, we're just making that shift of, okay, now this is becoming much more important. This needs to be a focus point when we start talking about toning up, getting stronger, lean muscle tone development, and weight maintenance. Getting stronger, adding lean muscle to the body through strength training is going to make everything else easier. It's going to ramp up your metabolism. You're going to burn body fat more efficiently. It will be much harder to regain body fat. Now, one thing you do need to know, let's say you're already in maintenance mode, you've lost 60 pounds, and let's say your body weight kind of floats between 150 and 155. If you have not done any strength training, any serious strength training, you're going to put on lean muscle weight, and you have to get right in your head with that. All right, I got to say that up front. So instead of floating between 150 and 155, you might float between 155 and 162, but look a lot leaner, a lot younger, a lot healthier, a lot better, and move and feel better. So you have to get right with that. The number on the scale is not as important. I want you looking at body fat, tape measurements, how you look, how you're performing, and you have to, it's a critical note. It's a little side note, but it's a critical one for this topic. You got to get right in your head with, that number on the scale going up a little bit in a good way. So a good example is if we sat down and I said, hey there, Jane, you have this goal that you want to transition from weight loss to muscle tone. I'm going to give you a plan that will help you lose 5 pounds of body fat and put on 5 pounds of lean muscle tissue. And, you're like, that's awesome. That is amazing. But then you weigh in You're like, I've been working so hard and I've lost 0 pounds. And people do this. Some of you are probably nodding your head like, yep, done that, been there. That's me. But if I told you lost 5 pounds of fat, you put on 5 pounds of lean muscle, you're psyched about that, but you're not psyched when that equals out to 0 on the scale. So that's the mental shift I'm talking about that we have to get right with. We cannot freak out and start starving ourselves or give up strength training and be like, I hear ladies still, it's getting better and better. It's a lot better than it used to be, but ladies will still be like, I don't want to look like a man. And it's like, it's really hard for you to build muscle to the point where you look like a man. So just lifting weights a few days a week, it's not going to happen. All right. So with 2 to 5 days a week, that's going to depend on your schedule, how much time you have to invest in this. If you're in that 2 to 3 days per week, I would try to hit full body strength training sessions. So you cover all your bases. If you're more like 3, 4, 5, then you can start doing body part splits, like a push workout, a pull workout, upper body, lower body, arm day, whatever, and start splitting things up. I'm not going to dive into the weeds on this topic. That would be another podcast that I'll do in the future here on how to break all that down. But that's a general mindset, right? I told you I'm going to kind of paint this with a broad stroke here, and I will let you dig into the details. And you can, of course, always ask questions on the blog when I post this on social media. We can dig in a little bit deeper here. Okay, so that's variable shift number 1, adding strength training. That will be a game changer. You got to give it at least 4 weeks before you add a new stimulus, though. And for many of you, it will take many, many months before you see any diminished results with this one variable. So it might be 3 months down the road, 6 months down the road, 12 months down the road before the results really start to slow down a little bit. So many of my clients, I can think about, I've got a guy named Bill that's lost, he ended up losing close to 90 pounds and was pretty thin with, the main focus of weight loss, cardio-based exercise, and basic nutrition. And we have added about 20 pounds of lean muscle to his frame with a little different tweak in the nutrition and dedicated strength training, and his results have not diminished. And it's been like years at this point, and we haven't had to really shift things that much. So it's pretty cool how far dedicated strength training can take you. So that's the first variable shift. When you're ready for another variable, another tool to pull out of the transformation toolbox, I would recommend dropping your carb count by 25 to 50%. So again, I'm making that assumption that you're just doing basic clean eating, which is going to still have a moderate amount of carbohydrates in the diet. A great way to add that lean muscle tone is to drop the carb count a little bit. So if you're tracking how many grams, let's reduce them by 25 to 50%. Or if you're like, well, I eat carbs at, 3 out of my 6 meals, then let's drop that by 25 to 50% as far as total meals that you include carbs. Whatever, just a slight drop. It's not cut them all out. It's just make a noticeable drop. You'll feel that. Your body will notice. It'll be a stimulus, and it'll be like, oh, I have to shift into I have to find another source of energy, and they're going to use fat and body fat. So if you're in weight maintenance mode, be sure to replace those calories with healthy fats. So like, coconut oil and olive oil and fish and nuts and things like that. So, if you're, like I said, if you're in weight maintenance mode, that's going to be an important little switch out to do. But your body, that's another really solid stimulus that your body's going to have to react to, and you're going to lean out. All right, so that is a simple one. Variable shift number 2, drop your carb count by 25 to 50%. Again, let that soak in for at least 4 weeks. Most people, you may start off week 1 through 4, drop your carb count by 25%. Then weeks 4 through 8, maybe take it out another 25, so you're at 50% of where your baseline was. And then if things start to slow down, we add another variable shift. Variable shift number 3, almost there, this is the last one. Adding empty stomach or fasted state cardio. And this is a touchy topic in the fitness world. Some people are like, you're going to eat away at all your muscles. And there may be something out there that proves that, but I haven't seen it, all right? I've had really good results from this. I've had clients get really, really, really good results from this. Fasted state cardio, from my firsthand experience, helps people burn body fat, helps people tone up and lean up a lot faster. And you don't want to go crazy with it at first. So if you've never done fasted state before, add in 30 to 60 minutes per week, and then increase by 30 minutes per week over that 4-week period and slowly build up. All right. If you've got like blood pressure, blood sugar issues, of course, you guys have to consult your doctor just to make sure that you are healthy enough to handle this. All right, first of all. But if you've got blood sugar issues, you may need to do a little bit of protein or some branched chain amino acids. Get those in your system before the cardio starts. The key thing is we're not going to have a lot of fat. We're not going to have a lot of carbs in our system. We want to be fueling our body with body fat. And one thing just to prepare you for this, if you've never done fasted state or empty stomach cardio before, and you're used to just cranking out these amazing high energy workouts, your performance is going to suck a little bit at first. Like you are not in the mode of I am training to be a supreme athlete with this empty stomach cardio stuff. It's like you're going to drag a little bit because your body is using that body fat and it's not used to it, and it's going to be a less efficient fuel source in that moment. Your body will adapt. Those of you that follow like a ketogenic diet know that body fat can be a great fuel source once your body adapts. But initially, it's going to be like, this kind of sucks. And you're going to be dragging. You feel a little bit more tired, but your body will adjust. All right. So those are the 3 variable shifts. I want to remind you that it's super, super important to measure and analyze your results. As you make these small shifts, we want to make sure you're doing some sort of measurement every 2 to 4 weeks. You got to look at things like the body weight, the body fat, the tape measures, the physical endurance, physical strength, flexibility, mobility. Do as much testing. Pictures. Don't forget pictures. That's a huge thing. And when you do pictures, I was cracking up. I got to share this. It's a little off topic, but not so much. You guys are used to this out of me. I was scrolling through my Instagram, and I like to see what other like fitness people are posting. And I swear to you, I'm not lying, this guy was posting before and after pictures of his clients, all female, and all of their before pictures, they were like 9 months pregnant. And all of their after pictures, they're obviously not pregnant anymore. And I'm like, this doesn't mean anything to me. They're all pregnant and then they're not pregnant. Oh, it's the miracle of life. Did you help them deliver the baby or something? Like where's the fitness-based result? So I thought that was kind of funny. But you want to take pictures that are like legit, like same time of day, whether it's first thing in the morning or whatever, or same situation. So if you always take pictures after you work out, then keep that going. You want these to be comparable, same space. So if you do them in your bathroom, do that, your closet, whatever, same lighting, all that stuff, so that you can see real difference. Don't work the system just so you can post it on Instagram. All right. So there you go. So this is the simple process. Let's do a quick review. That way you can get to work, right? So step 1, add a new stimulus. Step 2, stick with it for at least 4 weeks minimum. All right, don't go crazy, seeing that next bright, shiny object and jump into it. Oh, I need to add that in. Save it in the old transformation toolbox. We'll get to it. So add a new stimulus, stick with it for at least 4 weeks. Step 3, analyze results every 2 to 4 weeks. Step 4, add a new stimulus once your body has adjusted to the previous one and/or the results start to slow down. And then step 5, you got to repeat until you've totally maximized your awesomeness and hotness and tonability. All right, so that's it for this week. Hopefully you guys got something out of this. Again, it's super simple stuff, but it's more about the method. All right, the key takeaway here is don't just fitness puke all over your workout program and just whatever comes your way. It's just like all this mix of everything. You need to be strategic. All right, one thing at a time. See if it works. Don't shoot all your arrows out of the quiver on the first little battle here, all right? And you don't want to dump out your transformation toolbox all over the floor in the first job that we take on. One at a time, small stimulus, measure, and see what works, and then move forward. All right, I appreciate you guys. We will be back next week for another episode. Until then, I want you to get out there and own it. Every meal, every workout, every day. We'll see you next week. Hey, before you guys head out, I just want to remind you really quickly to come and check out my free Facebook support group, the Defeat the Cheat group. You can head on over to www.defeatthecheat.com. That will redirect you directly to the place where you can join our free Facebook support group. It is awesome. These people are on fire. If you guys struggle with being consistent with your nutrition and your fitness, and you need a little bit of support, a little bit of mojo, a little bit of help, we've got it for you. We've got your back. All nutrition plans, all workout systems are welcome. There's no judgment there. It's no, our program is better than your program. It's about following the program and supporting you on your own transformation journey. I'm telling you, it's awesome. We're doing 14-day challenges. We're sharing recipes, motivational quotes, tips. Every day there's something on there that's going to inspire you. I guarantee it. So come on over, check it out, www.defeatthecheat.com. We'll see you inside the group.